What's cracking, everybody? I'm Ronnie Renner out here at the Red Bull compound. You might know me from my funky little dance moves on top of the hill. I know that's how the TransWorld guys know me. But out here doing a little quarter pipe action, a little freestyling, just getting ready for the Red Bull High Rise, as well as X Games 92 or whatever they're on. Pretty nice day for riding. Red Bull High Rise is going to be in Chicago, July 25th, just a week before the X Games, and the premise behind it is to break my own record that I set last year in Santa Monica at the Red Bull Experiment. Nothing really new and flashy as far as a concept, just really trying to bring the quarter pipe to another location, and I really thought Chicago is a cool place with that, with the high-rise buildings in the background. The name High Rise was perfect. My record is 59 feet 2 inches, which was set July 11th, 08, and definitely hoping to break that, hopefully by a decent margin. I don't want to state any numbers. I know it's going to be hard. I know how much effort and time and how hard I went for it that night in Santa Monica. So made small, minute changes to the ramp because obviously you're at the mercy of if the ramp looks too big, the jump's not going to look as big. So tried to make it a little safer by changing some angles without adding too much height to it, and kind of having some good success practicing, but it's definitely scary. I remember the feeling I got that night in Santa Monica when I went really big, and it's going to be hard to beat that record, I'm not going to lie. Actually, last year, the practice schedule, thank God we had 3 months to prep up, between building ramps and changing angles. It was honestly 1 week before the experiment where I actually had a decent night of training where I actually started getting, I would say high 40s, low 50s, and I kind of had a secret mark to myself that I wanted to beat 50 feet. And, it ended up being 59 feet, which was way better than I expected, but that actual jump, those 59 feet, was definitely the highest I'd ever gone. I felt it when I did it, but it was crazy. In practice, the survey crew had marked me at 54 and I think 10 inches, and until that last jump in the show, I had only gone 54.7. So kind of had to do a lot of math in my head and figure out what to do different on that ramp to get higher, and that last one, it just clicked. So far, my only crash has came pretty much a couple weeks into when I first started the quarter last year. We were messing around with ramp angles, this and that, texture of the landing, because you have a lot of momentum changing directions when you're falling out of the sky, you're still crossing. So, long story short, I came up a little short on the landing. Back tire clipped the top, put a lot of pressure on the front, and I lost the front end and never touched the ramp, only hit the dirt. What's my secret number that I don't want to say? Am I allowed to say that? I think I'll jinx myself. At least 59 feet 3 inches. Now, I definitely got to get into the 60s. Mid 60s would be nice. anything better than that's a bonus. Just really got to beat that record. I mean, I wasn't sure exactly what I was getting myself into, but I know that last year's was no joke because I'm trying hard this time, and I think I took a lot from last year bringing it into this one, and maybe even came in a little bit cocky thinking I was going to blow the other one out of the water now that I knew what to do and what to change. But I'm kind of maxing the power out on my bike. We're actually to the point now where I'm trying to get more horsepower so that because it's just a physics thing. You can only carry so much momentum into a steep ramp like that before it starts trajecting you different and kicking your butt and getting you really awkward in the air. And this is something you really don't want to get awkward on. I'll tell you what, changing one little measurement on the ramp or one sprocket on your bike, hitting that ramp again is the most nerve-wracking thing because there's so little room for error as far as being reverted too much and spit to the flats or casing it, which I think at the high levels is even more dangerous. So not only is it gnarly just to move, you know, a couple feet to make the channel bigger and obviously open up my room to go higher because your momentum takes you farther down the ramp, to move to another location and not only dealing with the, you know, small minute angles that have changed, dealing with the weather, dealing with the, you know, being like Santa Monica's right on the ocean, you have a little more humidity, a little different bike characteristics. Now I got to go to Chicago. I don't have 5 days in between jumps for them to move the ramp, you know, an hour down the road. I got 2,000 miles for the ramp to travel, 10 days. And I have the gap set bigger than ever so that I can get the heights that I'm trying to get. So that first jump on the ramp is going to be a doozy. It's probably going to be more adrenaline on that first jump than there is going to be on the one where I try to break the record. We do have some weird angles going here. I mean, it's not a typical thing for a bike to do a 180, and especially doing it with 60 plus feet of air in between. So to get it where I land in a pretty centered spot where I don't case it or overjump or revert or whatever you want to call it, you definitely have to come off that ramp at the perfect angle. And I'm talking half a tire can change your landing spot by 10 feet. And that half a tire can also make me go 5 to 10 feet higher, which I might need to do. So getting wheel spin's not really something I look forward to. I definitely know it can happen. There's only so much power you can apply without your tires spinning, no matter how good your tires are, which I do have the best tires, Dunlop. But it's just the part of the game. You know, hopefully I can feel it and correct it. We got a couple logos on the bike, but probably the one that's standing out the most here is the one-on-one. Been trying to throw it out there for a couple years now that I'm semi-retired, which is a word that I think I made up. Basically, semi-retirement is when you can't afford to retire. You still got to make money. So common thing motocross riders get into is training guys. I don't think many guys have gotten into training freestyle riders, so I'm going to dabble. You know, I call it one-on-one, all MX training, and going to do a little bit of moto because I do come from a racing background, and also a couple freestyle guys. Going to be set up at Palo Raceway in North San Diego County there, a little bit south of Temecula. And got a really cool facility, cool track to work with, cool peeps, and you know, looking pretty forward to it. I'm going to miss my adrenaline kicks, but I think I'll still have time to go get them out in the desert and kind of pursue my free riding path I've been trying to take.